Hey guys, it's Troy here, and it's no secret, I like vintage pens. I love vintage Watermans and Sheaffers, and this happens to be Sheaffer. I think the brand that I own the second most pens of would be Sheaffer, and I really enjoy some of their older stuff. Well, here is something like from the 1950s or so, and I rather like Sheaffer Snorkels. I did a video some years ago about a Sheaffer Snorkel, the first one I had ever purchased, and it was this one right here. And this particular one, it was working well when I first got it. It does not work well now. I think it's probably because it wasn't really done correctly when it was restored. I found a few things about it that as I learned more, I said, man, that's not quite right. And as some of you viewers had rightfully pointed out, this cap actually was not meant to match this barrel. And the guy who sold it to me did confirm that he basically found a matching cap with the same color, like this peacock blue, which I really like this color, which is one of the reasons why I purchased it. And at the time, I did not own a snorkel. But now I own a bunch of snorkels, and when I say snorkels, it's not just the snorkel model. How about like this? The PFM. I absolutely love a PFM pen for men. And basically a pen is nothing more than a fat snorkel that's really kind of stylish looking. So I've got like at least 3 PFMs in my collection. But this is the latest version that I have added to my collection of the snorkel. I just recently picked this up from IndiePenDance.com. And one of the things about Mike and Linda is that they have a monthly pen tray. This particular model was number 19 out of their tray, and it was a Sheaffer Statesman snorkel in black with a medium nib. So I said, you know what? The price is right, so I'll go ahead and take it. So the snorkels tend to be a little more slender, obviously, than the PFM. So if you take the PFM, like I said, PFM is essentially a fat snorkel. So, but I do like the snorkel. So you got that beautiful dot here, and you've got that very thin cigar shape all the way down the pen, and you've got a fairly wide cap band there, and it is a screw top. This particular one had some personalization on it, and I've actually got a closer up view of it, but it says Mutual and United of Omaha Builders Club Award. Now, I don't know about the Builders Club and the Mutual of Omaha or United of Omaha, but as a customer of theirs, I am familiar with Mutual of Omaha as well as United of Omaha. And, of course, you've got the W.A. Sheaffer there, inscription right there on the pen. One of the things about a snorkel, we'll go ahead and pull it off, I enjoy Sheaffer's conical nibs. I've got a bunch of Sheaffers with the cone-shaped nibs. Absolutely love them. They all write well. They all look really cool. I mean, I dig the conical nib. So here you've got your section. It's kind of ribbed, and then you've got your screw part here for your section, or actually for your barrel, where that screws on. At the back end, you've got this blind cap looking thing here, but you're going to need it because this is how you extend your snorkel. So, as you can see right here in that feed, get this up closer, you see that little silver thing in that feed, and you can see the angle of that tube for the snorkel. Well, I'm going to turn this knob and you're going to see what happens. It is going to extend that snorkel. That's right here. This little filler tube is what they call the snorkel. And the idea is that it's going to dip down into the ink so you don't actually get your nib filled with ink like you would with a lever filler, that this tube would stick down into the ink instead. And then once you've got that unscrewed, you would pull it back. Did you hear that little aspiration? I'm going to press it and see and listen to it. You hear that? Listen to it again. Hear that? And that. What it essentially does is it uses air pressure of this aspiration right here, air pressure to squeeze a bladder or an ink sac. And then once it's released, that little air pressure is released, then it will fill up. And then once you're done, you simply bring your snorkel back in and you are tightened on the end. So that's how a snorkel works. I actually have a really cool looking snorkel, and let's see if I can dig that out and show you. Here's another Sheaffer Snorkel that is in my collection, and it is a Demonstrator. You can see how that clip is attached here at the cap. And in here there's really nothing to show, so it's dark. But let's go ahead and open it up. Nice little cool conical nib. This area here, the section, is nothing but black. But if you see here, you can see some of the inner workings that are inside this barrel down here in black. So let's go ahead and extend that little snorkel out here, and let's see if you can see the action on this thing. Now this is how it moves. You see that? And the snorkel comes back in. And when you do that, so this is what it looks like when a Sheaffer Snorkel is extended and retracted. So let's see about filling up that Sheaffer Snorkel. I'm going to throw in some Waterman Black, which is one of my go-to inks, especially on vintage pens. So let's go ahead and open her up. Get my paper towel ready. Take this off. Extend Mr. Snorkel. Pull back. Stick just the snorkel into the ink and press down. And hopefully she drank. You pull out you can see where it did get into the ink. So let's go ahead and there. Let's go ahead and retract the snorkel. And let's put the ink away, and we'll see if we can get it to write real well. Okay, well, I've got my Rhodia lined pad, and going to post this pen, it can post fairly well and securely, but it does back weight my pen a little bit, so I don't usually post a pen on a Sheaffer Snorkel. So let's go ahead and give it a little shot here writing. Sheaffer Snorkel. This one is reported to have a medium nib. It's going to have a firm nib, by the way. Don't expect line variation out of it. But as with most Sheaffer snorkels I've got, it actually writes fairly nicely. I put in some Waterman Black ink, and let's see. So there we go. You know, one of the things about the Sheaffer Snorkel, it does have a smaller grip than I really like, but I do like the pen itself. It's a good length for me. You know, this was, I think, a fairly good addition. It was not overly expensive. It was just over $100. And if you go look at the monthly pen tray at indiependance.com, you can pick off some pens. And I know they had some more snorkels there in stock as well. And I check out their monthly tray just about every month, and occasionally I'll pick off some nice ones. I've gotten some nice Sheaffers off from there. I've gotten a few other varieties as well. Mike and Linda, you know, I got to know Linda a little bit. She was actually an instructor at a nib smoothing class that I took, and I see them at pen shows all the time. Always have good interaction with Mike and Linda. They were well trained by Richard Binder, you know, they do good quality work, which is why I don't hesitate to be able to buy from them. I used to buy from them back when I really didn't even know anything about them, and some of my first restoration supplies I ever picked up were off from their website, when I picked up some shellac and picked up a few tools, and I picked up, let's see, what else did I get? Some sacks and silicone grease and that kind of stuff, all from their website. So feel free to check them out, indiependance.com. And, you know, maybe you'll find something on their monthly tray, or maybe some of their other offerings, or catch them at a pen show, because they also do a lot of nib work at pen shows especially. They bring their entire setup and they do repairs. So check them out and feel free to give them a holler. And if you do, tell them that Troy sent you, and they know who I am, and I see them at shows and order from them on a regular basis. So check them out. And the Sheaffer Snorkel, it's really hard to beat a good quality American Ingenuity pen from the 50s and 60s.